2. Welcome back to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman. We're here today with Monique Morgan. And if you've been watching the news, Monique Morgan is a local Las Vegas woman, and her husband, Shane Morgan, I looked at his Facebook page, healthy guy, went in for a flu shot, and now he's in the ICU. Now, as we broadcast, as we tape this recording today, Monique's fresh from the ICU. She just left there like a half hour ago. So we really want to make an effort here to raise support and help for this family that are going through this crisis. This isn't just for entertainment purposes. So, Monique Morgan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Can you tell us what happened? When did this start? When did he go in for the flu shot?
We went to our local CVS and got the flu shot on November 2nd. He started developing flu-like symptoms about 36 hours afterwards. He had been telling everybody in our family that last time he had got the flu shot 25 years ago, he got really sick. He didn't want to do it, but we have some out-of-state visitors coming for Christmas, and she has an infant, a 4-month-old, and she required that everybody get the flu shot. So everybody in our family that's going to be around the baby got the flu shot, thinking, we were protecting the baby. And even on Facebook, he had posted on the 5th of November, flu shot sucks. I've been sicker than I've been forever. And then it just progressively kept getting worse and worse. And he called off his work on one day. He's a very stubborn man, so he doesn't call off of work just for, leisure. He was really sick, but he sucked it up a few days afterwards and went back. And now, the day before all this happened, he started to complain that he felt like his equilibrium was off, and he was getting a little dizzy and stuff. And I just chalked it up. I said, I told you to go to the urgent care days ago. You didn't. I don't have any sympathy for you. That's what I told him.
Right.
I just thought he was. I didn't think it was any serious matter. So then the very next day, he said he woke up 1 o'clock in the morning, and he could barely stand and stuff, and he went to the bathroom, and he went back to bed. He didn't want to bother me and my baby, our son. And then 5 o'clock in the morning, he heard me get up with our son, and he said, "Babe, I need to talk to you." And I went under there, and he's like, "I need you to take me to the emergency room. I can't feel my arms and my legs."
Oh, my God.
And then I really started to get worried because he's one of these people. He hasn't been to the doctor. And he's been to the doctor one time, and that's because I made our family get insurance because we have the son now. And he's not one to complain about much, and, he wants to avoid the doctor as all possible. So I knew the severity of this.
No, what day was that? Because November what?
That was November 11th.
Okay. So you get him to the emergency room?
Wait, November, it was on the Wednesday, so that'd be the 14th.
No.
Make this in calendar. Yeah, it was Wednesday the 14th when he actually went to the emergency room.
Okay, what did they say at the emergency room?
They started testing him for everything underneath the sun. They ran a bunch of blood work. They did a CAT scan. They tested him for, flu, mono. CAT scan came back. It showed some white spots, and the neurologist said, could be signs of MS. Or it could be absolutely nothing. We have no idea. And the nurses kind of, filled me in on this Guillain-Barré syndrome, and that's where we kind of got an inkling about that. And they ran more tests, and they made him do like a full-body MRI of brain and spinal cord, and everything showed normal. Nothing was out of whack. They just simply couldn't figure it out. And the doctor, at this time, his paralysis, the numbness in his hands and his legs started progressively getting worse. So they said, "Hey, we're admitting you, and you're going to be here for a few days because we need to run some tests."
Now, were you yelling at them saying, "Hey, this is the flu shot, this is the flu shot"?
Yeah, the entire time we were telling him that was a flu shot, and then that's where the doctors kind of, started leaning towards this Guillain-Barré syndrome. And, and then day after day, he just keeps getting worse and worse, and they can't explain it. And evidently, with this syndrome, there's no real diagnosis because your protein levels. Oh, and another test that he had done was a spinal tap, and the proteins in this spinal tap will be elevated, at different stages of this syndrome. So they couldn't totally definitively diagnose it as that, and we still don't have a definitive diagnosis because in order to do that, they have to do some crazy nerve tests that can only be held in office where they poke him with needles and determine, how much nerve deterioration there has been.
Okay, what is this Guillain-Barré syndrome?
It's a syndrome that affects your peripheral nervous system, causes paralysis. It's pretty much his body attacking itself. The flu shot vaccination, which I had no idea. We all trust our doctors, and we just go and get these vaccinations because we're told they're safe, and doctors push it all the time. Well, in there, I guess there's adverse reactions listed, such as Guillain-Barré syndrome, that is a possible side effect, and that's what it does to your body, and it pretty much all these antibodies are attacking his nervous system and causing all these crazy problems.
What hospital do you have him in right now?
He's at Centennial Hills, located in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay. And I saw from Facebook that today the only way you can communicate with him now is that you talk to him and he moves his foot to say yes or no?
Yeah, and it's been very hard because today, they lowered his sedation, and they're doing tests every single day just to make sure, he has all his motor functions and stuff, but he's on a ventilator, so he's unable to, orally communicate. And we were able to get him a little bit more comfortable because his back was hurting him. He's had severe back pain in this entire thing from laying on a hospital bed for numerous hours every single day since he's been in here for 6 days. And then there was some kind of issue today that we were trying to figure out, I'm trying to figure out more than the doctors are trying to figure out. We're trying to get it out of him, and they're just like, well, we're just going to keep him comfortable. And then they just push more pain meds and sedation. But it's really bothering me because I don't know what's wrong with my husband. I know all this stuff is going on, but I want to try and keep him as comfortable as possible.
Right. Do you feel like since he's gotten to the hospital, he's getting better? Or do you think he might be getting worse?
No, this has definitely progressed worse and worse and worse. And, luckily the interview that I had previously done with the Las Vegas Reporter, I have a lot of people reaching out to me, and, there was a doctor on this interview, and she had said how rare it is and stuff. This syndrome is not that rare. I have so many people reaching out to me. I think what the problem is like 90% of vaccination injuries aren't getting reported to this system called BARS, and it's a vaccination awareness thing where when people have adverse reactions to these vaccinations, they get documented. And if stuff like this is happening and people aren't taking those actions, and how's the public really going to know how many cases there are?
Right, and you weren't before this. You weren't any kind of a anti-vaccination activist or anything like that.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Right.
A month ago, I got my son got my son the flu shot. He was due for his booster on Monday, and absolutely not am I not getting the booster vaccination for my 8-month-old son after his dad's having a reaction. They share blood. So, no, I've never been in I've gotten up to date my son on all my vaccinations, and now it scares the crap out of me.
Right. The audience should know that you have a brand new baby, 9 months old.
Yeah, he's 8 months. He just turned 8 months.
Yeah, beautiful little boy. Now, and that was Dr. Dahlia who was on that interview with you.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Well, she's not actually a doctor on my case. It was the journalist interviewing that doctor to give insight. But from what I gathered from the interview and stuff that I'm seeing online and people that are, protesting this, it's a big pharma scandal, and doctors they don't make money because people are healthy. They make money off of sick people, and the flu company, the pharmaceutical companies are making millions off of this flu shot. I mean, that, like they're doing mandated flu shots, for healthcare professionals and stuff. And I think it's just a big money-making scheme, and I think they're pumping all these terrible things into our bodies. And, we trust these people, and I don't think they're as safe as what they're pushed out to be in the media.
Yeah, and anybody can go to Shane Morgan's Facebook page and see pictures of this guy. This was a healthy guy. Monique Morgan's a healthy woman. These are a young, healthy family. Just a couple months ago, very healthy family. Now,
oh yeah, absolutely. But the only thing the unhealthiest thing we've had lately is we like food, and we don't get as much exercise because we have an 8-month-old.
Right.
Other than that, yeah, we're totally healthy. We're not on any crazy medication. Shane doesn't even have a prescription to his name. He doesn't need one. He has no, and that's another thing in his condition right now. All his vitals are stable. He doesn't have any ongoing health issues. My husband was perfect before this flu shot, and now he's in a ICU unit with a ventilator and possibly, going to be struggling with this for the side effects could last up to a year to 5 years. That's what I'm seeing from people. Have to regain all their mobility back, learn how to walk again, learn how to use their arms. It's terrible. And there's nothing that I can do to make him better.
Now, are people from the anti-vaccination community, natural health, is anybody reaching out to help you and offer you assistance?
I've had a lot of people reach out talking about their stories so far with, their loved ones or themselves that have had this syndrome. Then I've seen on, multiple comments with our social media exposure, people saying that they are against. I haven't had any actual organizations reach out to me or anything. But, Shane has another daughter from a previous marriage, my stepdaughter, and, she's got that 4-month-old that I had explained earlier. And, she sends me a message and she's like, should we even get our kids vaccinated? I mean,
right.
It's just so scary.
I know. God bless you. Okay, so a lot of people are commenting, they're offering their prayers and stuff like that, and advice and suggestions, but there's really no one stepping forward to help you.
No, not really. I mean, just people, lending an ear, or
right.
offering to help watch the baby as I need to be at the hospital every single day with my husband. People kind of shooting like legal advice or, I don't
Sure.
know what to do in this situation. So I'm just kind of lost. I'm trying to do as much as I can for them.
Right. And what about friends and family, a local church? Do you have a support system to help you out?
My dad flew in from Ohio. He's been watching my son pretty much every day. I have, I've been blasting this on social media, and I'm pretty, I don't know, I got a lot of friends out here.
Okay.
So they've been helping out with the baby and offering, stuff. So, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, just imagine people out there who have a newborn baby, 8 months old. They barely sleep through the night to begin with. And now you have all this on top, I had an 8-month-old. I know you know what you're dealing with. Now, you haven't, as the time we're setting up this interview right now today on Tuesday morning, you haven't yet set up a GoFundMe account, but you do plan on setting one up?
Yeah, I had a few people message me and offer to do that, and I was really skeptical about it because me and my husband, we live pretty good lives. I'm a real estate agent. He is a lead estimator and a project manager for a construction company. And, but now, we're only going to have one income, and me being self-appointed as a real estate agent, I'm just going to tell you right now, who's going to want to, list with the agent that's definitely not going to be in the game. I'm honestly worried about, our finances, and I don't understand insurance as much as I probably should and what we're actually going to have to pay. I haven't called the insurance company to think about all this stuff. My main concern is how my husband's doing, but
right.
Everybody's been telling me that I need to do stuff like this because it's not going to be easy.
Yeah. Okay, now, and there's some kind of a plan now to do this, some kind of a blood plasma exchange where they're going to recycle his blood?
Yeah, he began the first treatment in which it was called IVIG, and he showed no improvement of that. He went 2 rounds on this IVIG, and since there was no improvement, they started this plasma exchange, plasmapheresis. It's done by the American Red Cross because it's very rare. What they do is they suck all your blood out of your body and filter it through this machine and put in lab-made plasma. So the proteins are sucked out of here. It's like filtering out the trash of your body, and they have no guarantees that he's even going to show improvement for this. And a lot of people said it just needs to, the syndrome needs to run its course, and then eventually you plateau and start to get better. But we're praying.
Yeah. Again, I'm asking the audience to pray for you too, as well, to keep this family in your prayers. This could happen to anybody. But for the grace of God goes I or you. So we have to keep these people in our prayer, and we should support them, especially once they get a little GoFundMe set up there. Now, I was going to. Oh yeah, no, right. This the Giambi syndrome, right? What is the?
It's called GBS for short.
The GBS. What is the prognosis on it? Like the average is survival rate of that syndrome? Do you know?
Mortality rate's 5 to 6%. So,
okay.
By the grace of God, we have a low, very chance of that. However, as far as paralysis and longevity of this, we're looking in for at least probably a year before my husband's able to walk again.
Right.
And with tons of physical therapy and rehab, it's not something that he's going to get discharged from the hospital, even if he does see the improvement and we go back to our normal lives. I mean, it's terrible.
Right, but thank God he is young and healthy. How old is he?
He's 46.
Yeah, 46 is still young, man, and he looks very, very healthy. Is there anything else you want to share with the audience before we go?
I just want to say, do some research. These doctors are pushing, that the flu shot is, totally safe. But, I think it's just a big money-making scam, and, you need to really open your eyes because, everybody says you don't get sick from the flu shot. I'm proven evidence that that's totally wrong. So just, think before you do things. It's not as safe as what you think, and my goal is to raise awareness. This could be your family, and you might have a different outlook on this. And if I can avoid it at all possible, I'm going to spread the word, and hopefully nobody has to go through this because it's absolutely miserable.
Yeah, the potential risk seems unreasonable. I never get the flu. I'm a healthy guy. I'm 56. Healthy guy, never get the flu.
You get the flu shot?
No, I never get the flu shot. Are you kidding me? I don't go to the
So
doctor either.
Here's one thing. Here's one thing that I haven't seen on all this social media exposure and all this. I don't have anybody saying, oh, man, I got the flu shot and I didn't get vaccinated. What you see if you look at all these threads and stuff is people that actually get the flu shot, and they get flu-like symptoms and they feel horrible or they're hospitalized or, that's the part that people don't know. I have yet to see anybody like, oh, I get the flu shot all the time because, I had the flu. No,
Yeah.
I don't see that. And you got all these doctors that are saying that the flu shot's killing people and, everybody's getting sick because they didn't vaccinate. I'm not seeing that personally, and I'm not being biased. It's just not happening.
Yeah, well, how many years did you get the flu? In my lifetime, maybe once and twice, 3 times my whole entire life.
I've never had the flu.
Yeah,
never,
right.
And I never got vaccinated until I was pregnant with my son, and then this time, and I don't know anybody that's getting the flu and saying, okay, I'm going to go next year and get my flu shot because
Right.
that was terrible. It's not happening. It's everybody having all these adverse reactions, and then you have these healthcare professionals that say, you don't get sick from the flu shot. I see people sick all the time about the flu shot.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Monique Morgan. Her husband is Shane Morgan. They got a little boy. What's your boy's name?
Briar.
Briar?
Briar Shane Morgan. Yep,
Briar Shane Morgan.
And he looks exactly like his daddy.
Oh, so we got to keep the same amount of hair. We have to keep them all in our. We have to keep them all in our prayers. But also, too, if you can send some kind of physical support, by the time this airs, we'll have a little link up there to their GoFundMe or however you can help them out. Keep them in your prayers. And I guess, do you want to leave a contact away? I guess people can contact you through Facebook.
Yeah, please contact me on Facebook. I have been getting a lot of outreach, but I think, as much help as possible is honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing. We've both lived healthy lives. This is really absolutely terrible, and my heart aches for my husband. And if you have any advice you can share, a lot of people have said contact legal advice or any help whatsoever, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Please look me up, Monique Morgan. You'll see a picture of my son with a sunflower. That's me. I'm from North Las Vegas, Nevada. So,
Monique Morgan, thank you so much, and keep us posted. Keep us advised of what's going on. We'll put you right back on the air with an update. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna. His name is Keith Davidson. I'm gonna